Let's begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم فقهنا في الدين. May Allah give us the correct understanding of the deen. May Allah enable us to understand the surah the way we should understand it. Ameen. All right, so it begins with a story. So we're going to go right into the story, and then we're going to talk about the other surahs towards the end, if we can today. Otherwise, inshallah, we're going to try to sum them up tomorrow, because we really want to do everything to do with the surah, which we can in an hour. So the story of Yusuf begins, and this is a story which begins from an incident which is happening. A son is running to his father and sharing something. But before we get there, let's just talk about Prophet Yusuf a bit for the students who are just joining in first time. Prophet Yusuf was from the children of a long line of prophets, beginning with Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was the father of Ishaq alayhi salam, and Ishaq alayhi salam was the father of Yaqub alayhi salam, and Yusuf was the son of Yaqub. So Ibrahim alayhi salam was the great grandfather or great granddad of Yusuf alayhi salam. So Prophet Yusuf's grandfather was Prophet Ishaq. Prophet Yusuf's grandfather was Prophet Ishaq, and his father was Prophet Yaqub. So we have looked at the family tree yesterday anyway, so let's move on. So Prophet Yusuf had 11 other brothers. So altogether they were 12. They used to live in Palestine, Jerusalem. And they used to live in a very nice household because their father was amazing. He was a prophet. So they had a very nice life together. Alhamdulillah. But the problem was that the brothers weren't really happy with Yusuf alayhi salam. We're going to talk about that in a bit, that why and why does it happen. So one day what happened, Yusuf alayhi salam, he woke up and he had a dream in which he saw sun and then he saw moon and then 11 stars. They were all bowing down to him. They were all doing sajda to him. And Prophet Yusuf, he was amazed by the dream. So he went to his dad and then he shared his dream with him. So what do we learn from the whole situation? That how should we be with our parents? So it shows a strong father-son relationship. It shows a strong child and parent relationship. So whenever we have something strange in our life, whenever we notice something strange, whenever we enjoy something, whenever something excites us, who should we go talk to? We should talk to our parents, because they are the most trustworthy ones for us and they are the most caring people for us. Remember that. But the thing is, we need to ask ourselves, where do we go and who do we share this information with? Whenever we see something strange, whenever we experience something strange, whenever we look at something strange, whenever we find something strange, where do we go? Who do we share this information with? It should be someone we can trust. It should not be the people we can't trust. Remember that, because they can harm us. Because sometimes we're not wise enough. Sometimes we don't even know who's good for us and who's not. So the safest option would be to go to your parents. All right. So this is exactly what he did. That was a smart move by Yusuf alayhi salam. So the Prophet Yusuf, when he was just a kid, he went to his father and he mentioned his dream. All right, so let's just talk about the dream. So what was the dream of Yusuf alayhi salam? It was, he saw one sun, one moon, and 11 stars doing sajda to him. And then while we're talking about dreams, how about we talk about our dreams as well? Because we also see dreams, isn't it? How many of you see dreams? Yes or no? Yes, yes. And they're always pleasant? Yes or no? They're always pleasant? Not really, not always. Sometimes they're nightmares. And nightmares are very hard to deal with, isn't it? Or are they not? Are they fun to deal with or hard to deal with? They're very, very hard to deal with, subhanAllah, right? So inshallah, today we're going to learn the recipe of how to deal with dreams and what kind of dreams are out there. According to, the correct knowledge, according to the knowledge of Quran and Sunnah, what do we know? What are the dreams all about? So let's see, inshallah. There are 3 types of dreams that we know of, and they are from an authentic narration, from an authentic hadith. So some are meaningless dreams, like they have no meaning. We just see something strange, we're jumping up and down, we are flying off here and there, and we're eating on a lot of food and maybe some weird stuff as well, but that's pretty much it. They're meaningless. Sometimes our dreams are not meaningless, they're meaningful, and we get some type of idea, we get some type of instructions, we get some type of indication. Sometimes not direct, sometimes It is indirect, but it is there. So they're meaningful dreams. And especially if they keep coming, the same dream, if it keeps coming, then it means it has some meaning. That's why it's keep coming. And then there are nightmares. Nightmares are the ones, they make you scared, and you feel really, really scared. You don't want to go back to sleep and that kind of state. So we understand what nightmares are, we because experience them, and we know they're not a good thing. Okay, let me tell you about all three types. Where do they come from? So when it comes to meaningless dreams, they come from our own soul. Like, whatever we think about so much. Let's say you have exam coming up, so you will think about exam even in your dream. All right, so that is because you were thinking about it so much. It was on your mind. That's why you are seeing it in your dream. So that's normal. It is a meaningless dream. It's not something to worry about because you were thinking about it. Another type of meaningless dream would be because you have had a lot of food. So now, because of the fumes of the food, you're seeing these weird dreams. So that's also meaningless. You don't have to worry too much about them. They can be like, they don't have to be nightmares. They will be just, randomness, and a lot of things going on, and you sometimes don't even remember, upon waking up, or maybe after an hour or so after you wake up, you won't even remember those dreams because they're not even meaningful. But there are other types of dreams, they're meaningful, and they're like good news type of dreams as well. Like you see yourself in Jannah, or you see someone else in Jannah, or you see some type of happiness, you see some type of reunion, your family is meeting each other. So it's like a good news. So these good news type of dreams are from Allah. They are to give you some type of satisfaction. They are to heal you if you're going through some tough times. Usually, when you lose a loved one, someone you love a lot passes away, leaves you alone in this world, and then you see that person in your dream and you feel so good. So it's like from Allah to give you comfort. It's beautiful. Did you ever see any dream like that that made you so happy, even though you knew it was a dream, but you were so happy about it, as if it was real? Right? Subhanallah. So it's like a good dream. It is from Allah. Whenever you see a good dream, what should you do? You should thank Allah. You should thank Allah right away without delaying, inshallah. And then we move on to talk about nightmares. Nightmares are from shayateen. Nightmares are from shayateen, devils. They want to make our life really horrible, and they want us to always be hopeless. They want us always to be anxious and worried, so that we can't even focus on good, so that we can't even do anything nice in this life, so that we can't even be a good Muslim because we're too worried about the dreams. So whenever you see some bad dream, you know what to do. Let's see. So we have, alhamdulillah, proper instructions from our deen what to do in every situation. So when it comes to meaningless dreams, don't worry at all. You don't even need to tell them to anyone. You don't have to just even think about it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time and effort. Ignore. But if it's a good dream, then you will thank Allah, inshallah. That's one thing you should do. Then you should feel happy about it. Why not? You can share it with the people who love you. But you think if someone's jealous of you, then don't tell them. And you can kind of tell, right? You guys are wise enough. You know what jealousy is like, right? And you know what, when people don't like you, when people are not happy about your happiness. Inshallah, we're going to talk about jealousy in detail in a bit, because the brothers were jealous, remember? So we need to see what was the problem. Okay, so when you see a bad dream, you know what you do? You seek refuge with Allah. How? You say, A'udhu Billah, or you say, oh Allah, please save me from the evil effects of this dream. I don't want to go through this in real life. So make dua like that, even in your own language. And then you can say, like, first you can make dua like that in your language. Then you can say, A'udhu Billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I don't want to be attacked by shaitan. I want shaitan to be just repelled away from me. And then dry spit to your left 3 times. And then don't mention this dream to anyone ever, even your parents. Anyone ever. Why? Because there's a narration which talks about if you're going to mention your bad dreams, they can come true. So you don't want your bad dreams to come true, right? So you just deal with them yourself, and with the help of Allah, you will come out of that problem, inshallah. So while we're talking about dreams, and while we're talking about this beautiful story, so let's just show you, one slide so that you remember it for good. Anytime you see a bad dream, wake up, dry spit 3 times on your left, dry spit. Make sure it's not, a proper spit. It should be dry spit, just like you can practice it at home. You can ask your parents; they can tell you what a dry spit is, and then you can say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim" once, and that's it. If you are wide awake and it's bothering you more, your dream, just go to the washroom, do fresh wudu, pray 2 rak'ah units of prayer, ask Allah for help, and that's it. Go back to sleep. Nothing will happen, inshallah. That is the way. All right, so let's go back to the dream of Yusuf alayhi salam. So Yusuf alayhi salam saw this dream, and he was worried about it. He was, he didn't really understand it. That's why he went to his father. And maybe he was happy as well. Who knows? But he went to his father. He was like, it was a strange dream and whatnot. So his father gave him an advice. So his father did not say, okay, come on, get away from here. I don't have time for your dreams. No, he was such a good father. So he listened to him. And he said that because your brothers are jealous of you, so please don't share this dream with them. And father kind of knew the interpretation because father was also a prophet. He was hoping that someone from his family would become a prophet as well. And he was really happy that that could be Yusuf alayhi salam, because he saw this amazing dream and it seems like it's a sign. But he did not tell him exactly about the dream yet. And he just said that, instead of giving him the meaning of the dream, he said, don't tell about your dream to your brothers. Why? Because when someone's jealous of you, they can harm you. When someone's jealous of you, they won't like your good dreams either. They won't like anything good happening to you. So while we're talking about jealousy, let's just understand jealousy. What exactly is jealousy? Jealousy is that when you see someone enjoying something and you dislike it, you don't like it. It's not that you plan to not like it. It's just you have this feeling. So what do you do at that time? If you notice this feeling, then you need to realize yourself that this is called jealousy. And this is from shaitan. And I don't want to be a bad person like this that was not happy in other people's happiness. If you notice that someone's happy, then you should also be happy for them. And this is the best way to go about it. But let's see what exactly jealousy is. Whenever you hear anything good about anyone, like let's say you hear that someone got full grades in their test, or when you hear that someone got a new car, or when you hear that someone got a new game console, or when you hear that someone got a new iPhone, and when you hear that someone got new clothes, or when you hear that someone got a really great party thrown for them, then how do you feel? So these are the questions we need to ask ourselves, because we can't waste our good deeds because of jealousy, because there is a hadith which talks about it. The hadith says that jealousy eats good deeds just like fire eats wood. How does fire eat wood? It burns them. So if you're jealous all the time, your good deeds are going to be burnt all the time. And it's not worth it. We hardly get to do good deeds. If you're going to be jealous, our good deeds are going to go burnt. That's not worth it. So inshallah, one thing to remember, when we hear someone's happiness, we should be happy. Okay, now I'm going to show you an image and tell me. I'm going to clear everyone's responses so that you can respond again. So in this picture, do you think if the, wait, let me just ask the question first, then you can respond. I'm not going to give you mic. I'm going to ask you to use the buttons, all right? So the question is the older brother jealous or the younger brother jealous? Older brother, yes. Younger brother, no. Older brother, yes, he is jealous. How do you know? Just by the look of him, right? Sometimes you can even see the jealousy, subhanAllah. So don't be a jealous person. Sometimes people are really sharp. They can cover their jealousy. They can show a smiley face, but that's also wrong. That's hypocrisy. So let's look at the cycle of jealousy. If we are not going to control jealousy, if you start feeling bad for other people's happiness, if you start feeling bad that other people are enjoying, then you have to work on it. Otherwise, you know what will happen? You will physically harm them. This is a cycle of jealousy. Once you're jealous of someone, you start feeling, I deserved it. I should have gotten more presents. I should have gotten better grades. So this is arrogance, because you're thinking you're better than the other person. That's the first problem. And once you start feeling that way, you will end up backbiting that person. What does that mean? You will go around telling people, oh, that person's so bad. That person's evil. That person doesn't deserve nothing. That person doesn't deserve a lot of gifts. That person doesn't deserve a lot of happiness, that person doesn't deserve a lot of praise. This is backbiting. This is backbiting. And even after that, you won't feel relaxed, because the jealousy, it keeps on growing. If you're not going to uproot it, if you're not going to take it out, if you're not going to shave it off from your heart, it's going to get more, and you can physically harm someone as well. And that is the example we see in this story. Let me tell you another story. So let's just assume the situation so that we can understand jealousy for good. So let's say you saw your younger sibling making a Lego, truck, all right? And then you were like, oh my God, why did my younger brother got Lego set? I don't even have enough Legos, or I don't even have my favorite one. Ever felt that way? Yes or no? Be truthful. Because if you're truthful, then we can fix the problem. We feel jealous sometimes. Yes, it's normal. Why is it normal? Because shaitan is there. Shaitan is going to make us feel like that. But what do we need to do? We need to remind ourselves, no, it's all right. Allah chose this gift for him. Allah has given me other things. So we need to look at what Allah has given us. Because it's not possible that only one person has everything and other person has nothing. Sometimes Allah gives you one thing and other people, Allah give them another thing. But if we are not able to identify the problem, if you're not able to realize that we are jealous, then what will happen? We are going to harm. And similarly, this older brother, the moment he found a chance, he just broke the truck off and threw the back part of it in the street. How bad? How did it help them? Not at all. He wasn't happy. Even after throwing that, he wasn't happy. And before that, at least brother was happy. Younger brother was happy. If he was nice enough, he would have. Okay, let me ask you. I think you guys know better. So Sister Maryam, wait a second. Sister Maryam Wali Muhammad. Go ahead. How are you going to deal with this situation? So let's say your sibling got something and you don't like that. What are you going to
do? I would be patient at the moment, but if they did something worse, I'll tell my parents and they could sort it out, like calmly.
Exactly. They can help you. Exactly. Very good. Okay, let me take Sister Maryam Ali. Maryam Ali, are you there?
You can ask you can ask the brother if he could share and tell him that you could also find something that you have and share it with them.
Perfect. That's the perfect answer. Alhamdulillah, beautiful. Alhamdulillah, barakallah fiki. Both answers were great. Alhamdulillah, sometimes you need help of your parents because your younger sibling doesn't listen to you. But other times you can deal with them. You can talk to them and you can have a deal with them that you can play with me. We can play together. And later, you can play with my gadgets as well. That is a good thing. So inshallah, this is a test we're going to do with all of us every day. Do I get happy or sad when someone else gets happy? So it's not just siblings, it is also your cousins. If your cousins get something and you don't get them, be happy. It's all right. At least someone's happy in this world. This is a sad world. People are all sad. So at least someone's happy. So you should be happy for them. And when you start getting happy for other people, you will become a very good Muslim. And you will have happiness in your heart. You won't even have to, run after people for happiness. Subhanallah. So this is a chart. Remember it. Take a screenshot of it. Ask yourself every day, do I get happy or sad when someone gets happy? Be it grades, even if it's someone who is competing with you. And because of that, their competition, they're winning and you're losing. Doesn't matter. At least someone's winning. At least someone's happy in this world, right? And again, we need to remember that, this life is a test. This is not Jannah. It's not that they got Jannah. They just got something of this world. So who cares, right? And in Jannah, the competition is beautiful. What is it? We all can make it to Jannah. It's not a quota limit. It's not that you're first position, you're second. It is based on our deeds. Similarly, in this world, if someone strives more, puts in more effort, that person gets more in this dunya as well, right? So inshallah, we should be happy about it. Also, we should remember that it is a plan of Allah and Allah chose that person for that thing. So how am I unhappy? Like, why am I unhappy? What's wrong with me? Why can't I be okay with Allah's plan. It is Allah's plan that that person is getting better grades. It's Allah's plan that that person has a bigger house. It's Allah's plan that that person has more toys. It's Allah's plan that that person has more gadgets and I have only one. Doesn't matter, alhamdulillah. Or even not one, doesn't matter. Because inshallah in future you may have more. Because times, they don't stay the same. Things change. And we can, another thing we can do is when you notice someone enjoying something, you should give them a dua. What is the dua? May Allah bless you in it. So just remember the English for now. Inshallah, Sister Shazia will teach you the Arabic one day, inshallah. So brothers were also jealous of Yusuf, and then they were not happy that Yusuf alayhi salam was getting the attention. And you know why Yusuf alayhi salam was getting the attention? Because he was such a good kid. And imagine, he would even share his dreams with his dad. So who would not like such a kid? Who would not like such a kid who is like sharing everything with the parents? Sometimes you share everything with your mom, other times you share everything with your father. You know, whichever one you feel close to. Or sometimes you share, you know, your happiness and your sorrows with both of them, right? So it's beautiful. But if you don't do that, then you won't have that bonding which you can have otherwise, right? So these brothers, maybe they were not sharing everything with their father, and seems like that because they were just sharing everything with each other. And they were just thinking about their jealousy more and more. They were thinking of plans and tricks to harm Yusuf alayhi salam more and more. So they planned something. So they thought it's not a good idea that Yusuf alayhi salam is getting all the attention. And they were like, okay, how about we get rid of him? How about we just do away with him? Some of them suggested, how about we kill him? So sad. Brothers, own brothers. And others suggested that how about we, you know, take him somewhere really far, leave him and come back. Or, you know, so that he suffers and he cries and this and that. And one brother, the eldest of them, he said, how about we throw him in a well? When we'll throw him in a well, maybe someone will find him because they will go there for water and whatnot. And then eventually he will be safe, but somewhere else, not with us. So at least he won't be with us. And then, because no one would be with us, so it means our father will have time for us then. And a lot of kids, they think that way, that because of my siblings or because of this or that, my parents are not giving me attention, and we can make our siblings look bad in their eyes so that they start giving us attention. This is such a wrong way. If you really want attention of someone, you should make dua. You should ask Allah, oh Allah, please make my parents love me. If you think that's a problem, right? So make dua to Allah, and Allah will put your love in their hearts, and they will care about you. It's not hard for Allah to do that. So don't do anything wrong to get this attention. And even after doing this, did they get attention? Not at all. It was a wrong way to do it, and this never works. Because if you do something wrong with someone, it doesn't work for you. Not for long, maybe for little, but not for long. So they requested their father to let Yusuf go with them, and they wanted to take him, apparently, just a show off. They were showing off, or they were posing as if they wanted to take their brother for a picnic. And they said, we're going to go, we're going to have fun, we will eat, we will enjoy. So let Yusuf go with us. So please, please, please. So their father wasn't ready. He was a bit reluctant. He was like, I'm not sure, maybe a wolf would eat him or something like that. So the brother said, no, we are 10 in number. Why are they not saying 11? Because 11th brother, Binyamin, at that time was really little. He was like a baby, you can say, according to some of the narration. So he was little, he wasn't going. The elder brothers were going, and they were 10 in number. So 11th was Yusuf in this case. So they wanted to take Yusuf along, and they were showing as if they care about him, and they want him to have fun as well, and they want him to play. So that's why they want to take him for picnic. So father wasn't happy, he wasn't comfortable, but they were like after him, you don't trust us, you don't want to send the younger brother with us, blah, blah, blah. So eventually, Yaqub alayhi salam, the father of Yusuf, said, okay, you can take him. When they took him, the first thing they did, they threw him in the well. And then they left him alone. Imagine your own brothers throwing you in a well. Well is not a safe place. Well is very dark. Well is very painful. Well is very cold. Well is not, what if Yusuf alayhi salam did not know how to swim? It must be very, very hard for him. But subhanAllah, Brothers were mean because of jealousy. Remember, we talked about jealousy. If we don't treat it, it becomes a bigger problem. And we can easily physically harm someone, and we don't even realize that it's bad. Anyways, these were mockers, or you can say these were such good actors, these brothers. They came back crying. So they returned home, they were crying, and they were like, oh my God, we lost him, blah, blah, blah. All were lies. And then, in order to make their lies seem the truth, they brought a shirt with them. And the shirt had blood stains on it. Where did they get this shirt from? They actually slaughtered a sheep and they soaked the shirt in the blood of the sheep and they brought it back. But they said the brother was eaten by a wolf while we were playing. We were racing with each other, and then we let Yusuf sit with our we can say picnic basket or our belongings. So he was sitting there, and then some wolf ate him while he was sitting and taking care of the stuff. We were just racing. So it was all like, such a lie. And Yaqub alayhi salam sensed it that it doesn't make sense. And deep in his heart, he had a feeling, the father had a feeling that my son is not dead. He could not believe it. He didn't want to believe it. And he had this feeling, and he had this, you can say, reassurance from Allah as well in his heart that no, my son is alive. It's not possible. Sweet, right? Subhanallah. And then what happened? When Yusuf alayhi salam was alone in a well somewhere, right? So it was not in, it was like far away from, like little far away from their place. It was not very close to their home, so that he could never come out and come back home. This was the plan of the brothers. So when he was alone and in the darkness of the well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he inspired him. What is the inspiration? When you get some idea in your head, when you get some type of hope. So this inspiration, this hope was given to him from Allah that no, don't worry, one day you will come out and one day you will meet these brothers again, and then you will tell him what did they do. Cool, right? So he was given reassurance. So alhamdulillah, that was like from Allah, a gift. Sometimes when you get this reassurance, when you are going through really tough times, it seems, sometimes it happens to us that, we are going through many trials at one time. Like, let's say we are losing our money, we're losing our health, we're losing our friends, and we feel so sad. But then, even though situation doesn't change for us, but we get a hope, right? We get some amazing idea. We get some amazing thought. And that is like, everything is going to be great in future. And that, remember this is from Allah. This is not from you. Because when everything is going bad, it's not from us. We are going down and down and down. Then Allah pulls us out of this problem by giving us a beautiful thought. The things are going to be great soon. Don't worry. Just hang in there. Just be patient. Don't react negatively in this situation, and you're going to do great. And this is exactly what happened with Yusuf, even though he was little, but he was able to understand that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Lord for everyone. So he helps kids the way they understand it. Subhanallah. That's beautiful, right? Alhamdulillah. All right, so let's move on. So what happened was, this caravan was coming. These travelers, they were coming, and they were passing through this area where the well was, and they were going to Egypt. So they were, of course, thirsty, and they saw a well. So well attracts the attention of the people when they're thirsty and traveling, for sure. So when they saw the well, they were so happy. They came running towards the well, and they sent someone to go and get the water. And when this person, he threw, you can say, the bucket in the well to get the water. And when the bucket was pulled back up, the bucket wasn't empty. The bucket was heavy. So when he was pulling it, he was like, it's heavy, what's wrong? What kind of water is it? But when he pulled the bucket up, he noticed a beautiful, cute looking young boy sitting on the bucket. And he was like, wow, he was amazed. And because the baby was cute, he did not throw him back, right? He was attracted to him. He was like, oh, so cute. And then they took the baby. The whole caravan saw the baby. Not the baby, you can say a young boy. According to some narrations, he was like in his teens. So they were excited to see the teen boy, but he was young. So they took him to Egypt with them. Was it the right thing to do? Tell me, yes or no. When you find something, can you take it anywhere you want? No. Even if it's money, even if it's someone's food, even if it's someone's lunchbox, even if it's someone's water bottle, you don't take it just like that. You find out whose is it. You announce it, and if you don't find anyone there, then you find people around, and you ask them, do you know this boy, or do you know this item? Is this yours? Or where is the lost and found department? But they did not do it. They were not good. They took him, and they thought of him as a slave. They took him as a slave, and they took him as a product, as merchandise, and they sold him in the market of Egypt. When this boy was sold at the market of Egypt, everyone was surprised because the boy was so beautiful. The boy was so, you can say, disciplined. He was not like a slave boy. He was not like a ruggedy boy. He was not like a dirty boy. He was like a nice, beautiful, disciplined, and well mannered little handsome boy. So everyone wanted to buy him, and there was a bidding session and whatnot. So who bought him? The chief minister of the Egypt, he bought him. The chief minister of Egypt, of course, was rich, but the price which was given for Yusuf alayhi salam wasn't a lot. Why? Because you cannot put a price to a kid, right? You're priceless. All of you are priceless. We cannot put a price to you. $1 million are also less for you. You're so precious. And remember that. You all are so precious. Don't devalue yourselves. Don't listen to people and obey them as if you're their slaves. You're not slaves. And alhamdulillah, we live in a society, or we live in such times, alhamdulillah, especially in such areas. I can't say such times because there's still such areas like that, but alhamdulillah, we still live in such you can say societies where we are not sold like products. Alhamdulillah, right? So we should be happy. Say alhamdulillah, everyone. And remember, when we say alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, we get 30 rewards, and 30 evil deeds are removed from our record. So why not? Right? Might as well just say alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen and be happy about it that we're not sold. One more point I really want to make here is that if someone tells you to go somewhere with them and you don't know them, and even if they offer you money or whatever, please don't go. There's so many true stories like that kids were kidnapped like that. And there's so many stories about even the teenagers, not even little kids, teenagers being kidnapped like that. And there was a very recent story, and which was really, really, really scary. I want to share it with all of you so that you are going to be comfortable next time. So even if someone offers you a new iPhone, just come with me for 5 minutes. I'm going to give you iPhone. Doesn't matter. We don't want that. We are worth millions. We are not worth iPhone. Remember that. Inshallah. Can you all remember that? All right. The story here. It is not very long ago. I think 2 months back or 3 months back, there was a girl. She was looking for work. So she was searching online, like, where should I go and work? And there was this, you can say, job advertisement. And the job advertisement said that we're hiring supermodels or models, right? So we're hiring models for an ad campaign. And we're going to give you like free hotel. We're going to give you free flight. And you're going to fly from whichever country you are in to the US. And we're going to give you like $10,000 or something like that. So this girl got so excited. Of course, many would have. But this girl the poor thing got caught in this situation. So, or you can say got kidnapped. Even though she was old enough to take the decision, but still, it wasn't worth the whole thing. So she took the flight. She reached the US. It was not her country. And then when she reached there, someone was there to, pick her up from the airport. That was all normal. He looked like a decent guy and whatnot. And then she disappeared. Her family was worried. They were calling her up. No number was working. They were emailing her. No email was working. And it was like 1 week passed. And everyone was so scared and whatnot. And then finally, one day she called. One day she called and she wasn't herself. You know what I mean? So she wasn't responding properly. She was just saying, hi, mom. Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And that's it. She hung up. Then she called again after a day or two. And then she talked to her friend, and she told her friend that, she just said, how's my dog doing? And then friend was like, we don't have a dog, right? She didn't say it. She just heard that and she got a clue that, oh my God, maybe my friend is in trouble. That's why she's giving me this weird clue that, how's my dog? Subhanallah. So this is how finally they traced her and they found her. But she was abused big time, right? So she was tortured and whatnot. So never ever go after money like this. Never ever travel alone like this, especially if you are young enough, for anything. Even if they're giving you free hotel, free food, free flight, and money, doesn't matter. As long as your parents are with you, then you should travel, inshallah. And if you have their approval, if they know where you're going, then inshallah, you can decide. But also, ask Allah for help. Always ask Allah for help, because people can sell you for a very petty price, and this is not worth it. So are you all going to make du'as for protection now? That Allah protect us and save us. We don't want to go through all of this. This is so painful. This is not worth it. Anyway, so Chief Minister of Egypt, he bought the boy and he brought him home. And he told his wife that we can keep him as our serving boy, or you can say servant, or he would serve us and benefit us, or we can adopt him. Because he was so cute, he didn't want to keep him as a servant. He wanted to adopt him. And he told his wife that you should arrange nice place for him. You should arrange a nice place for Yusuf so that he can live a comfortable living with us, subhanallah. And then when Yusuf grew into a wise and handsome man, time passed by and he had such beautiful looks, and it became another trial for him, a test for him, because he was good looking. He got extra attention, even though he never did anything wrong with his beautiful looks. But sometimes our good looks can become a big trial for us. Our qualities, sometimes not looks, sometimes our intellect, sometimes our wealth, sometimes our family background, something or the other can become a big trial for us. So what should we do? Always remember, this is a gift from Allah. Never ever become proud about it, because these tests can become a big punishment for us too. So he was smart enough. He knew that he did not make himself. His features, his hair, his color, it wasn't from himself. It was from Allah. So he was always thankful to Allah. And when these qualities became a big problem for him, a trial for him, he chose difficult paths. He made dua to Allah, because the wife of the minister made life difficult for him. She wanted to be, you can say in easy words, girlfriend for him. And he didn't want that. He knew that having a girlfriend like that isn't allowed in Islam. He knew that. He didn't want to have a girlfriend like that. But she was making the life real. She was making his life really miserable, really hard. So he made this dua, oh my Lord, prison is more beloved to me than to what they are inviting me. So this lady and other ladies, whatever they want to be friends with me. I don't want that. I'd rather be in prison. And subhanallah, he was sent to the prison. Why did he choose prison? So prison is not fun. But these were the only two options he had at that time. He could not go back to his parents, and he had no other choice. Because at least in prison, you get food, right? So he wanted some type of lodging where he could live comfortably. So in prison, he was safe. So he was sent to prison. And in the prison, he was so nice. Usually people, when they end up in prison, they become really evil. They become really, really bad. They become gangsters. He did not become that. He stayed a righteous and good-mannered boy. Now he was not a boy, now he was a young man, you can say. So young man was such a nice man, even in the prison. So two prisoners, they also were there with him. They actually got into the prison with him. Like when he was in the prison, they were also in the prison. They kind of entered around the same time. So they were kind of like close to each other, or they knew kind of each other. So they were noticing the behavior of Yusuf alayhi salam. One of them was the ex-cupbearer of the king, XYX, because now he was in the prison. So back in the day when he was not in the prison, he had a job, and his job was to keep the cup of the king, in the tray and keep serving him, sort of thing. And there was another one who was the baker of the king. Why were they in prison? Because the poison was found in the food, and now king did not know who did it. So these two were actually the victims. So they were sent. So and it wasn't proven that who was guilty, and no one was saying that I'm guilty. So they came with their dreams to Yusuf alayhi salam. So now these two people, they saw dreams, and these dreams were meaningful for them because they would keep on coming, and they had like some importance according to them. So one saw that in his dream that he was pressing grapes to make wine. Another person saw birds eating bread placed on his head. So they came to Yusuf alayhi salam and asked about the dream. Yusuf alayhi salam, he was so amazing that he was approached even in the jail. What does it show? He was accessible. And that is a quality which is going to make us forbidden for hellfire. There's a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Shall I not tell you for whom the hellfire is forbidden?" And that is a person who is accessible, who is polite, and who is easygoing. So may Allah make us accessible, polite, and easygoing. If we have these qualities, inshallah, fire won't touch us. Beautiful, right? How many of you are going to make this dua now in this Ramadan? You? Yes? Yes? Good. Alhamdulillah. And then, subhanAllah, if you think about Yusuf alayhi salam, he went through so much. He went through confinement, he had no freedom, he was emotionally abused, not only by his brothers, but also the people who were supposed to take care of him, the ones who bought him. But he was still a muhsin. What is a muhsin? Muhsin is a person who keeps doing good even if other people don't do good to him. Okay? Muhsin is a person, even if that person is wronged by the others, that person still does nice. Even if younger siblings are annoying, he is not annoying. Even if friends are horrible, he is not horrible. So that is a muhsin. So he stayed a good person throughout. So we need to analyze ourselves at this point. Do we forget ihsan when things don't go our way? We do, right? Sometimes we forget about being nice. We become evil. And then we realize later. So inshallah, we need to learn this from Yusuf alayhi salam, that we don't have to react negatively. We have to stay a muhsin. So Yusuf alayhi salam was very smart. When these two people came to him, then he told them about Islam. Not before that. When these two people were just sitting and chilling in the jail, he did not go and tell them. But when they noticed the good character of Yusuf alayhi salam, they were inspired by him, they loved him, they thought that they thought that Yusuf can help them, then they went to Yusuf alayhi salam. So that was da'wah through actions, invitation to goodness through actions. And then when he went to him, when they went to him, he introduced himself. He said, "I'm Yusuf. I am from the family of prophets, and we don't do shirk." And then he made them think. He asked them a very simple question. Do you think a lot of gods are a good idea, or having one God is a better idea? And that's it. He did not nag them. He did not force it to them. That's it. He just gave him a thought, and this, he moved on after that. And then he told them about the meaning of the dreams. So one of the meanings was, for one of the guys, the interpretation was, one will be freed and go, and he will serve wine to the king. Why are we talking about wine? Because we're talking about non-Muslims here. Because Muslims, they don't drink wine. We have talked about it earlier as well. And the other one will be crucified, and birds will eat from his head. And this is exactly what happened. One got freed, and one was killed because he was proven guilty. The baker was the one who tried to poison the king, so he was killed. And then king saw a dream. Fast forward few years, 3 to 7 years passed. We don't know exact you can say number, but anytime between 3 to 7 years passed, Yusuf alayhi salam is still stuck in the jail, and he is not guilty, he is innocent. And then king saw a dream. King saw that there were 7 lean cows, thin cows, weak cows. They were eating 7 fat cows. So it was like a strange dream, right? Subhanallah. And then there was another, he had another part to the dream as well. So anyways, we will fast forward. Let me tell you about this dream as well. So he then saw 7 healthy ears of the corn and 7 dry ears of the corn. And then king was troubled. He was like, what's going on? Like, why am I seeing this dream? He was worried about the dream. So he asked his chiefs, the ones who were around him, did you guys know about this dream? So they said, no, we don't know. Maybe it's just your meaningless dream. But King was worried about this dream and he wasn't forgetting it. So he thought that it wasn't a meaningless dream. So he asked. And then the cupbearer, he remembered that, oh, there was this guy in the jail. He knows how to tell the meaning of the dreams. So he said, give me off, let me go so that I can go and get your dream interpretation. And subhanallah, Yusuf alayhi salam was so amazing. And you know, when this guy, he got freedom from the jail, this cupbearer, Yusuf alayhi salam told him, when you go out, tell the king about me that I'm stuck here without any reason. I'm not guilty, but people forgot about me. They threw me in jail and that's it. But this guy, he never bothered to tell anyone. Now, when he needed the help of Yusuf after so many years, now he's going back to the jail. But amazing character and amazing manners of Prophet Yusuf are shown here. He was not unhappy with him. He helps him right away. He doesn't even remind him, didn't I tell you to help him? Where did you go? None of that. That is the beautiful character we need to have. If someone wrongs us and doesn't remember us when they don't need us, but only when they are in need of us, they call us or contact us or come to us, we should never make them feel bad. Never. Why? Because that's not how Muslims are. That's not how good Muslims are. And not only Yusuf alayhi salam gave him the meaning, he did not even say, okay, I'm not going to tell you, go call your king and whatnot. I have the answer and I want to look big or something. No. He just said, okay, you should listen to this carefully and go tell him. So he told him about not only what to do, but also he told him about, not only he told him about the meaning of the dream, he also mentioned what to do. So he mentioned that there will be 7 good years. Like 7 years will be really good for you guys. You will have a lot of wealth. You will have a lot of, harvest, crops. So save them. So he gave them advice. So save that food. Don't just eat in 7 years. Store something as well, because next 7 years are going to be really, really hard for you. There'll be famine. There'll be no food. So then you can use that stored or storage food for yourself for 7 years, and then it's going to be great again. So that was like such a good advice. When King heard it, he was so impressed, and he offered him freedom. But Yusuf alayhi salam said, first you need to prove me innocent. Like you have to give make it public that I was not guilty. Then I'm going to come out. And subhanallah, this all worked out for him. And everyone said, yes, he was innocent. It was the fault of the ladies of the town and not him. And then the king offered him a job position. He said, yes, I want one, but I'm going to tell you what I'm good at. And that was such a wise thing to do. He knew how to deal with finances because he was living with the chief minister, and chief minister was dealing with finances as well. So he learned it from his old master, old boss, you can say. So he offered his services, that I'm really good at money matters, so I can take care of the money matters of your country. And that was the best thing to do. Okay, now those 7 years come when the famine happened. Now people, they were suffering. So the people in Egypt, they were not suffering. Why? Because they were wise enough. Why? Because they took the advice of Yusuf alayhi salam, and they stored the food when they had a lot of food. So when there was no food, they had their own food. But people in Palestine, of course, they did not know in Jerusalem. So they had no food. So they did not have the solution for themselves. So now they needed food. They had money, but no food. So now brothers, because they were in Palestine and Yusuf alayhi salam was in Egypt, now they had to come to Egypt first time. They reached Egypt and they gave some merchandise, you can say some type of money, to get food. And they got food, but the method of distribution was that every individual who would come, every individual, even if they bring a lot of money, they would just get 1 camel load of food. One person, 1 camel load of food one time. So now 10 brothers came to get 10 camel loads of food. That's a lot. But all 10 brothers were married. They had kids. So 1 camel load food is like maybe like 1 grocery trip of yours, right? Maybe 2 grocery trips of yours. That's it. So it's not going to last them months. And Egypt was not like 2 blocks away. Egypt was like another country, and you cannot go to another country for every grocery trip. Can you do that? Can you take a flight and go to Egypt to get food and come back to Palestine? No, it's not even possible. So back in the day, it was harder because flights are still faster. Camel trips are too long. It's not easy to get there. So it wasn't easy for them and they wanted more food. So Yusuf alayhi salam, he noticed that they were his brothers, but the brothers did not recognize him. Why? Because he was little when he was thrown in the well. And brothers weren't even expecting someone they thought was worth, getting away, like worth nothing, that they could throw him, could be the minister, could be the finance minister. They were not even imagining that. They could not even imagine that. So they did not recognize him, first of all, because because with your age, you change, right? You don't look exactly the same. And secondly, they could never, ever imagine someone in the well could become a finance minister one day, just like that. So Yusuf alayhi salam was sort of pleased inside to see the brothers. He was a nice guy. He wasn't taking revenge or whatnot. He did not say, okay, I'm not going to give you food because you guys are coming from Palestine. He did not tell them that I'm your brother. He did not. He did not disclose his identity. But he said, next time when you come, bring another brother of yours so that you can take another camel load. Who was the other brother? Other brother was Binyamin, because that was his youngest brother. He really liked him. Yusuf alayhi salam, he wanted to have him. So brothers, they went back and they convinced their father to please send our brother with us, because then we will get another camel load of food. And Yusuf alayhi salam was so nice. When these brothers, they were going back, these 10 brothers, first time when they came and they were going back, he made sure that he in a surprise way, he gave them their money back. So with the food, he made sure the money was also going back on their camels back to Palestine. So when the brothers, they opened the food, and when they opened their luggage, they found their money back. They were so happy. They found their merchandise back, whatever they gave in order to get the food. They were so excited and they were now willing to go back again. So 11 brothers, they went this time. Binyamin as well went this time. Even though Yaqub alayhi salam was reluctant first time, he said, you're going to do the same to him the way you dealt with Yusuf. They said, no, we're going to take care of him. Please let him go with us. And of course, they were convincing, and they were like 10 in number, and they were like really nagging type. So they made their father, listen to them, and then Binyamin was sent with them. And this time, Binyamin, when he reached there, Yusuf alayhi salam told him in private that I'm your brother, and they were really excited to meet each other. They hugged each other as well, and that was like such a beautiful reunion. And then Yusuf alayhi salam, he was like feeling like not letting him go, but he could not do anything about it. And Allah planned something so beautiful. Allah planned their reunion. And you know what was that? King lost his cup. Okay? King's cup, according to the story we are going with, there are many versions, but this is a story which makes much more sense. So there were 2 cups actually, right? So one was the cup of the king, and one was the cup of Yusuf alayhi salam. So Yusuf alayhi salam had a very expensive cup, so he gave his expensive cup to his brother as a gift. So and it was again surprise, because he liked to give surprise gifts, as we noticed that before as well. When other brothers were going back, he gave them their money as surprise gift. So this time he gave this expensive, nice cup of his own, not anyone else's, his own, to his brother. So he packed it in the bag of his brother when they were going back, taking the food. Other brothers, they still did not know that Yusuf was Yusuf. Anyways, so at the same time, King also lost his cup. And King made this announcement that whoever is going to bring my royal drinking cup back, we are going to give them a reward of 1 camel load. And then when whoever is going to be caught red-handed, then there will be some type of punishment. So what happened was they started searching the bags, and of course a cup was found. It wasn't a king's cup, it was Yusuf alayhi salam's cup. It was different as well, but they said, oh, this guy stole another cup, so now we should do something about it. They are thieves. And then subhanallah, at that time, brothers were asked, what is your punishment? You tell us, you decide. So the punishment for the crime at that time was, in their law, the law of Yaqub alayhi salam was, if you commit theft, then the thief is supposed to become a slave for the person he steals from. So who stole from who according to the situation, even though no one stole? According to the situation, Binyamin was caught and it was said that he stole the cup of Yusuf alayhi salam. Make sense? And he was supposed to now stay with Yusuf for 1 complete year. So this was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's gift for these brothers, that they could be together. Even though, and of course, Yusuf alayhi salam wasn't going to treat him like a slave anyway. So they could live like brothers together, subhanAllah. And then subhanAllah, let's move on. And we're going to just quickly complete the story so that you can enjoy it later as well. So all of this happened. Now brothers went back. Now Yusuf alayhi salam's father was really sad because his other son was also lost. And the Prophet of Allah, Yaqub alayhi salam, he still remained patient. He said, "Fasabrun jameel," it is beautiful, like beautiful patience. He kept on saying that sabr is I have to be patient because I'm Prophet of Allah. I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna show tantrums. I'm not gonna show anger. So they were still the brothers were also sort of sad this time. And now Yusuf alayhi salam, his brothers, they took a third trip to Egypt, right? They took a third trip for Egypt. Why? Because now they needed more food and they were now more poor and now they had very few things to trade. And the brothers now this time begged Yusuf alayhi salam to have mercy on them. When Yusuf alayhi salam, the desperate state of his brothers, so he asked them a simple question. Do you know, or do you now realize that what you did to Yusuf? And when they heard this question, they were like, oh, how does he know about Yusuf? They were stunned by the question. The brothers realized that the powerful man before them had to be their brother Yusuf, because besides Yusuf, no one knows what happened to Yusuf. Even Binyamin doesn't know what happened to Yusuf. So they were like, oh my God, maybe that is Yusuf. Only one question he asked. Do you now realize what you did to Yusuf? Even though Yusuf alayhi salam, he had been through so much hardship because of his brothers, he still did not get upset. He wasn't screaming at them. He wasn't making it hard for them. Yusuf prayed for his brothers' forgiveness. And then he did two things. Okay? He asked them to do two things. He gave his shirt to them and he said that, you can lay this shirt over my father's face. And then secondly, he asked his brothers to bring their entire family back to Egypt from Palestine next time they come back. So it was a third trip. Fourth trip is a family reunion trip. Brothers, they go back with a shirt this time. And then Yaqub alayhi salam and his sons and their families, they travel back from Palestine to Egypt. When brothers, they returned home, they placed Yusuf alayhi salam's shirt over their father's face. And through Allah's mercy, Yaqub alayhi salam's eyesight returned back. Because he had the eyesight before, but because he was really sad about his sons, he would cry a lot and he lost his eyesight like that. But because of the shirt, he got the eyesight back. And again, remember, these were prophets and these were the miracles. So now this whole family is coming back. Yusuf alayhi salam was so nice. Even though he was the minister, he went outside the city to welcome his family. He went outside, subhanAllah. This shows the manners. When you have guests over, you should go outside and welcome them and take them inside. So Yaqub alayhi salam was overjoyed to meet his beloved son again. Not only just Yusuf, but also Binyamin, because Binyamin was also lost for some time now. So in respect, Yusuf's father, mother, and 11 brothers, they all, out of respect, they bow down in front of him. And seeing this, Yusuf alayhi salam realized that it was the dream he saw when he was a child. Subhanallah. So the dream came true. What was the dream again? He saw a sun and a moon and 11 stars doing sajda to him. So what do we remember from the whole story? Now the family, they got settled in Egypt, and everyone started living happily ever after. Such a beautiful story, right? But so much we learn from the story. Yusuf alayhi salam, he never lost his patience. He never showed anger. He kept on helping others. He kept on forgiving people. And he kept on remembering Allah. He kept on making du'as and Allah helped him. So Yusuf alayhi salam was successful in all of his life's tests and he was richly rewarded for his patience. So may Allah enable us to pass every test like that as well, and may Allah give us success as well. Ameen. Did you enjoy the story, everyone? Okay, would you like to share something? What did you learn from today's story? I'm going to give the mic to some of you. Let's see. Okay. So few students, and don't go away. We still have an amazing project waiting for you, all right? So let's see, sister. Okay, brother Amin. Smiley, brother Amin. Go ahead. And rest of you can type, inshallah. Whatever you have learned from this story, just type quickly, inshallah. Brother Amin, you have the mic.
Okay, I have learned that you should always respect your parents and your family, even if they did something bad to you. You should respect anyone who did anything bad to you and always love them.
Beautiful. And then you will get reward from Allah. Even in this dunya, you will be successful. Very good. MashaAllah. Well done. Okay, and now we have, okay, brother Zain Usman. Zain Usman, are you there?
Cisco.
Go ahead. What did you learn?
I learned that you have to be patient.
Good.
And I learned not to throw your brother in the well.
Exactly. Good boy.
Also, the last thing, you have to be thankful to Allah.
Inshallah. Beautiful. Alhamdulillah. Well done. Okay, now we have Minahil Ali. Minahil, are you there? Minahil Ali? Wa alaikum assalam.
What I learned was that when you're jealous, it doesn't help you. Like if you do something that you think will satisfy your jealousy, it won't. And you're just making a mistake that will ruin your life.
Very good. How old are you?
11.
Very smart for this age. Barakallah fiki. Well done. Alhamdulillah. Such a good answer. Okay, Sister Zala Ahmed. Zala, are you there? Zala Ahmed Farid. Sarwat Naqvi. Sarwat Naqvi.
I learned that you shouldn't be jealous and patient. You should be patient.
Very good.
And it goes a long way. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well done. Barakallah feek. Well done. Alhamdulillah. Okay, Haura Khan. Haura.
I learned that you should always be patient, like no matter how hard your situation is, and you should always rely on Allah no matter whatever the situation is, and you should not hate people. And jealousy is something that is very bad, and you should never have jealousy in your life, and you should always have a strong relationship with your parents.
Very good. Beautiful. You have got a lot of lessons down. Barakallah feek. Well done. Okay, Bilawal. Bilawal's iPad. Bilawal. Bilawal, go ahead. I think I've lost you. Okay, mute yourself because I have a long list here. It's very hard to find you now. Okay, do we have anyone else here? Okay, Layla, do you want to say something? Layla Saeed, raise your hand. Did you learn anything? Layla? Did you learn anything from the story?
Yeah.
What did you learn?
I learned to be patient and not be jealous.
Very good. Very good. Well done.